Hello there. Okay, we'll get started. Welcome to this webinar on online booking. So this is the new online booking platform that we're going to be going through today. So my microphone is on. Everyone else is automatically muted. Obviously, your speakers must be turned on to hear this webinar. So I hope you can hear me. So if one of you, I'm sure a few of you will, there's a chat box in the top right corner where you're going to pop your questions anyway. I will get round to those questions at the end. Thank you. You can hear me. That's good. I've had it before where you haven't. Questions, like I said, will be taken during the webinar, so you can pop those in at any time, but just be patient and I'll get to them at the end, just so I don't sort of ruin the flow as we go through. So over my years in the industry and in my time here working at Shortcuts, I've heard from quite a lot of businesses about how much you actually do love online booking and how effective it is for the salon. But I've also heard the other side of the story. We have a lot of clients that actually are scared of online booking, sort of scared of losing control a little bit maybe of the appointment book, worried that the clients are going to book in the wrong thing at the wrong time. So, we're going to address that a little bit as well. But online booking really as a business tool is a game changer. We do know that 40% of clients do like to book their appointment outside of your business hours. So 40% of your clients wanting to book outside of business hours is a lot. All right. So try and sort of think how you're setting up the booking can work for you. There are a lot of different ways you can set it up. We're not going to go that deep into it today. We're just going to really cover the changes between the previous platform and the new platform. But we do have plenty of videos online if you want to look further into setting up online booking, if this is your sort of first sort of endeavor into that world of online booking. So, as we know with online booking as well, it does reduce the phone calls, that traffic there at the front desk. And what you can also do is take a deposit through the online booking platform, or even take the full upfront payment as well. And that is very easily then sort of added as a payment type at the point of sale. So that's not a complicated process either. So for those of you that do know our previous booking platform, this is what it looked like. So back in the day, which is over 10 years ago, this was a great platform. But tech does move on very quickly. And in 10 years, you can imagine how much tech has moved forward, you would know as well in your business. So although, like I said, it was great then, we did know it needed a refurb. Now, a lot of you told us that it needed looking at and sort of updating. We did listen. So we created a whole new platform. So we haven't just sort of refurbed, maybe that was the wrong word to use, because we've not refurbed it, we've completely rebuilt it. We've created a whole new platform. This is what it looks like. So if you're seeing this for the first time, there it is. It's very mobile friendly. It's a lot more user friendly. And I would say it's more logical and definitely more visual. It's a much better consumer experience with our new booking platform. So it was over 12 months in the making of the new Shortcuts online booking platform. It combines data insights from our existing online booking platform with evolving customer trends and user experience. The team drew on insights from online booking platforms across different industries and service models to deliver what we think is the best online booking platform out there. So you can customize the online booking experience to suit your business, including how far in advance the customers can book, which services they can book, who they book with, and automatically recommending complementary services too, to sort of softly personalize that sell. So suggesting other services when they book a specific one, which of course is going to increase your your revenue as well. You will capture accurate client data with a data-first approach, system syncing to ensure all mandatory fields are entered and are up to date in their Shortcuts client profile, meaning that your database is always in tip-top shape. One client payment card collection, like I said before, you can take your deposits and full payments if you wish to. Now, we have so far with our sort of marketing that we've done and the feedback that we've got, that this is a 5-star rating that we've got from you so far. So good things, high expectations. So we're hoping that everyone is going to love this new platform. Like I said, it's customizable as well with your own imagery and colors. And you can integrate this straight into your websites in different ways that you've been able to before. So we have little widgets that you can use now with little pop-up windows, so the client doesn't have to leave the website. So what you're used to is client clicking on your Book Now button and then being transferred over to your booking platform. Now you can still do that, but you don't need to. You can have a pop-up window, so the client doesn't need to leave your own branding. They can stay there on your website. So that's really, really cool. Now, once they've got their booking profile, they can also, they can store their credit card or card details in that platform. And then they can book for family members as well, and for friends. They can book for anyone, and they can put a little relationship in there of who they are, and they can just use your own card or their own card for each of that people that they're booking for. So they don't have to keep putting their card details in all the time. So what I'm going to do now is take you through what has changed. All right, so let's just minimize this screen. So here's your console. So for those of you that haven't seen the console before, this is where all your settings are. Now, the main changes have happened inside the company settings. So just on the left here in the middle, company settings, I'm just going to select. And if you've not been in here for a while, I'm just going to scoot down a little bit. You'll see that it's changed quite a bit. The main parts here for online booking settings, just a little bit down, you've got the classic, which is our previous platform, and modern. So just make sure that it's ticked on modern. If it's still on classic, it should be on modern anyway by default, but if it's not, tick modern on and then press save, and then just refresh the screen and it will open up with these new settings. So you've got your company name there at the top, that will be filled in. The display name is your client facing name. So if your business has a slightly different name above the door, then you can pop that in on that second field. You've got your logo as well. So as long as you've got your logo there on your hard drive, you can just select choose file. It will open up your file finder, select on your logo and upload the image. Then we have our feature image. I will be showing you the platform as well. So if you're wondering, what does the feature image mean? Where does it go? I'll get to that just after we've gone through these settings. So the feature image we can pop up. Now you can have that either in the landscape or a portrait. It's up to you. Again, you choose the file and you can then upload that in there. The highlight color. So that's really for the areas where the clients are going to be clicking. So where it says make a booking or next or choose your employee, that will be highlighted in that color along with your opening hours. So that is your 6-character, what we call a hex code. So you can get that. So if you want to tie this in with the color theme of your website, then you can get the sort of highlight color code from your website and then pop that in there so it all flows through. Just going to move down a little. Now you may notice that the online booking URL has changed. So it used to say My Local Salon. Now don't worry, so it's still linked. So you can update to this new URL, but you don't need to. The old one will still work. So that's up to you if you want to just update that. You can, but it's not something that you need to worry about. Then we have the widget setup. So with the widget, I'm just going to open this. I won't go too much into this because I guess it's more personal. There'd be a lot of questions I would need to ask on a personal basis to sort of set this up, but essentially we can have a pop-up window or a side panel. The booking widget, which is what says select here, so it's just a little tab that floats to the side of the screen. That can sit on either the left or the right hand side. And the floating button will say what you need it to say. So book here, book now. Again, you can have your color in there. So the tab itself is one color, and then the text is another. And then as we move down the button position, oh yeah, so sorry, the booking widget position, that's the widget itself that moves. And then down at the bottom, there is the button. There's a video on this, don't worry. And then further down here, we have the code that you need as well. So what I say is once you've changed these, just click save and close, and then reopen, just to make sure that they've settled in there, and then just copy if you wish to, or you can just copy straight to your clipboard if you do have the clipboard active. If you change any of this information is within the code itself. So if you do come back here later and maybe change the wording, you will need to regenerate this code and replace the old code with the new. So they're not directly linked, that a change here will automatically take effect on the website. It is all to do there with the code. Then we have the background image. Again, you'll see where this goes when we get to it, but we have the background image there that you can pop in. The only thing I would say about this one is when we get to the actual booking platform, so if you're going to go in the traditional sense of a client will book on your Book Now button and then go to the other platform, so they're not using the pop-up window that's new, they're using it in the same way they used to, then this will be the background image of the page that they go to. And they're only going to see the left side and the right side. So just be careful, because normally with an image, the main part is in the center. They're not going to see that. That'll make sense in a bit. So just be aware of that. Now, this one always needs to be landscape as well. You can't have portrait for this one because it's going to be the back of a web page. All right. You can display cookie alerts if you wish to. Then as we move down, the only thing for you to change down at the bottom are the instructions, because the instructions that's related to the older platform are not now relevant here. So we'll just go through them one by one. At the top is the site selection text. Now, this is only if you're a multi-site. So if you are a multi-site, you'll arrive on one page. You can just say, you know, welcome to our platform. Please choose which salon you would like to visit. That's what I popped in there. And then we'll have a list of all the different locations that you have. If you are a single site, you don't have multi-sites, you don't need to worry about this because they won't go to that page. It will go straight through to the location. Now you've got the email here that will go out to the client as well after they have made that booking. Terms and conditions, always have a look at those. Now we have please note, which is new, and then the service selection, which you would have seen before. So service selection before said step 1, you choose which category. Step 2, please choose the service within that category. Now we don't have that anymore, so you don't need anything in this box. But like I said, once it's set up, just go through each page and you might just want to pop something in there. You know, if you can't find the service that you require, you can call us. Maybe not all of your full menu is on the online booking platform. Maybe there's a couple of chemical services that aren't there, or you know, high performance facials or massages that aren't there. You could just pop that in so the client knows if they're looking for something and they can't find it, they'll be able to see there's a reason why it's not there. The please note is more of, let's just say that you're taking a deposit, then you could have that listed in here. So as they're going through to make the booking, they would see that you require a deposit to complete the booking. Maybe you have a cancellation policy of 24 hours. You can pop that in there as well. And then you'll see what that looks like when we go through to the platform. So that's the main area that has changed. Now also, if you are a multi-site, then you'll need to go into site settings. And we can move down. And down here we have the payment provider. So if you do want to set up your upfront payments, then you have two providers to choose from, and they go into your site settings. And again, we go into online booking settings, which was the center tile. These are all the usual, so these haven't really changed from before, but there are a couple of extra. Now you notice here there's a feature image. So if you're a multi-site, you get to choose your site from the drop-down box at the top right corner. And each location, so let's just say it's a shot of the interior of the salon, then you're going to want a different image for each location. So you'll just select on the location, pop your image in, save that, select your next location, and then pop an image in again, and then save that, and so forth. So that is why you've got the feature image shown here as well. Then you can see that we have Facebook and Instagram. So you've got three options because Facebook and Instagram are the same company. You can set them up here so it links to your platform, or you can do it via the Facebook app or the Instagram app. It's up to you. You've got three different ways of doing it, but we do have videos for that as well. And just to be aware that when we move down, if you do come down to the bottom and you see all these boxes, you don't need to touch these unless the information you're giving is different for a particular site. So this is all the information we already did in the company settings. Because it's company, it goes down to all the sites. If you have a little bit of different information, so let's just say if you can't find the important information text, which is called the please note text in the other one, that will be updated. So it says the same thing. But let's just say in here you say, if you can't find the service that you require, please call us on whatever the number is for the location, and you're a multi-site, then you would need to come to this screen, which is the online booking settings, just to make this different for each of the sites. So each site has its own number. This will override what is happening in the company settings. But if you're a single site, you don't need to worry that these are all empty. So hopefully that made sense in the setup part of it. And like I said, there's videos for all of this setup as well. Now, when we come through to the site, you can see here, we have the background image. And this is why I was saying you won't see the center of it. You'll just see the left and right. So this image is fine. It just sits there in the background. The highlight color is the gold color. So it matches our logo. So that's why we chose that particular color. Then we set ours up under different sort of headings here, but I'm just going to select on Peppermint Park, which is our main site. Again, you can see the highlight color moving through, and we have the make a booking down there at the bottom. It's a little bit of information. Our socials are there as well, and that's our feature image. So we've got our background image and our feature image and our logo. So we go through to make a booking. This is the please note, where you can put anything in here that maybe you're going to be taking a deposit, 24-hour cancellation policy, anything like that that you would like your clients to see before they go through to actually make the appointment. Then we have your service menu. Just open that up. And we require an extra service with this one. So we have half a head of highlights. And with this one, we require a finishing service. So we don't like the clients to book color on their own. So this can be a requirement or a suggestion. Yeah, so you could suggest that they have another service, but they don't have to, or you can require that they have another service. I'm going to add. So you can see on the right-hand side, we now have color and a cut. And they can still go ahead and make another booking with that as well. So maybe a treatment if they want to. Otherwise, we select next. Now we've got the suggestion. So we're suggesting now that maybe you want a treatment with this. Didn't think about it. Maybe I do. It's a good idea. I'll add that in there as well. Then we go down to next. And who do we want to book this with? So in here, you can have images of your team members. along with, which isn't on here at the moment, but along with a little I that will be there, and a bit of a bio if you want to have a bio as well about any of the employees. In here though, we've just got it set to any person. So I'm just going to select next. Then we have our calendar. We can go through. I should have checked the rosters in our database before I did this. But the one thing I forgot to do this morning was check the rosters. But what will happen, I'm sorry, what should happen down the bottom here is like any other standard booking system, it will have all the times. So it'll have the morning times, the afternoon times, and the evening. So they're no longer having to say, I want to come in at a particular time of the day. They can see their appointments all the way through the day for morning, afternoon, and evening. And then we just go ahead and then obviously when we've chosen a time, we then just go ahead and move to the next stage, which is just to confirm the booking and have the deposit taken if that's what we need to do. So hopefully that made a bit of sense for you. What we'll do now is go through to the questions. So we do have a few. I'm just going to read through a few. Also, we're taking questions coming through during the day as well. And we're going to contact a few people to see how you enjoyed the webinar and if you had any questions. And I'm doing a Facebook Live this afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is just a Q&A. So a little bit more informal Q&A that we're having this afternoon. So can clients download this as an app? No, this is browser based because it's easier. Sort of the app stores tend to update their rules all the time, and there's more issues around an app. So the booking platform isn't an app, but you can have a salon app with shortcuts, and that does have a tile on the app that they can then go ahead and book online, and they'll just go through exactly the same process as what we've done there. When will this be rolled out? It already is rolled out. So we have gone through and updated everyone's online booking. If for some reason yours hasn't been updated, then please contact support and have a chat with them about that. So if you don't have a booking platform on your website, this is a question I'm reading out. If you don't have a booking platform on your website, do you need a widget for the website? So traditionally, people will have a Book Now button within their website, which is then embedded. So that's what we call embedded. So the code that you will get will need to be embedded behind that button, or you just simply pop in there the URL that you embed behind the button. Or if you don't have a button, or if you want to also have a tab, which you can have both, then you can just have what we call like a floating tab that just sits there to the side of the screen. So no matter where the client is on your website, that tab is going to follow them. That will always be there. Just reading about images. Do we have any images that you can use? We do have a resource center on our website. So please go and have a look at the website. We're going to be emailing you all as well after this webinar. Usually you get a copy of the webinar itself and information and links to resources across our website. So just watch out for that email. Online bookings are currently unavailable. Do I need to call support? I would say that you do. Anything like that sort of needs fixing or looking at, please always call support right away. Yes, there are videos on how to teach, there are videos teaching you on how to add services. They're in our learning center. So if you go to our website, shortcuts.com.au, you'll see some options across the top. One says support. If you hover over that, one will say learning center. The learning center is a lot of videos, but they're very short videos around each feature within Shortcuts, and they're for single actions. So if you go into the Learning Center and go down to Service Management, then there'll be a video there on how to add categories, how to add services. There's also a category on online booking, so you can have a look at how to prep for online booking if you're new to online booking in your Shortcuts, so what you need to do on your main computer in Shortcuts as well. Another question, sorry, just having a look through. Payment options for deposits. You have two payment options. So we have Shortcuts Pay and Stripe. So they're the only two that are integrated with our software. So you can choose between those two. If you have any sort of questions around that, you can join again at 4 o'clock this afternoon. There is some information on payments on our website as well. Can you limit the bookings that appear for the timings? In other words, if we are set up for 15 minutes on Fusion, will it show every 15-minute appointment available? Yeah, so I think what you're asking is if you're set up with 15-minute increments in your appointment book, it will show 10, 10:15, 10:30, 10:45. That's how it would show. Do you suggest for balayage joining services with a toner? Well, as an ex-hairdresser, yes, because I would never do a balayage without a toner. So that is you asking me as an ex-hairdresser. As for someone who works at Shortcuts, I don't know, whatever really suits you, to be honest. You could put it in as a requirement or a suggestion, but yeah, I don't know if I would do balayage without toner. Anyway, SEO tagging available for Google Analytics. It's a little bit more involved. I will need to find that one out. So this is another reason why we're having this session at 4 o'clock this afternoon, because I don't have the answer to every question, I'm afraid. So I do need to find out about the search engine optimization tagging. That will need to be, I'll need to chat with a colleague about that one. All right. So sorry, I couldn't answer that one directly. Can I change or reject? Now, Shortcuts doesn't work on a sort of holding pattern, and that's because it can get a little complicated with if you're just sort of holding an appointment and then you're going to have the option to reject it. So as far as the client is concerned, when it is booked, it is booked. Now, when it comes into, if you haven't used online booking before, so when it appears in your Shortcuts, it's bright yellow. And the bright yellow then means I need reviewing. So you can look at that, but you would need to call the client. You can't just reject it and the client is told that it's been deleted. That's not how our booking platform works. The 50% efficiency, how does it really work? It's a long question. So I did used to work in education, as you know, and it is a little complicated to explain. It works with the booking intervals that are within the employee setup screen in Shortcuts. I think there is information on that video on the website. If not, call support and see if you can get some assistance with a more in-depth answer there. Someone from education might need to speak to you about that one. Not something I really want to get into right now because it is pretty complicated to explain at first. Any other questions? Not at the moment. If any others come through, can you, oh, here we go, we got a couple in. Can you make a note about new bookings? Depends what the note is. I think I need a little bit more information with that one. Will it work on Squarespace website as they allow coding now? We do have a list of some sites that we know for sure it works on. Again, I'll probably cover that one this afternoon at 4 o'clock because I don't have all the information to hand at the moment, but it does work on a lot of websites. If they do take coding, then you can always just give it a go and see if it works. I mean, the coding is there for you just to take from your console anyway, so you can give that a go. Can you receive an email about new bookings? Yes, you can. So you can pop your own email in. So every single booking that's made, the client will receive an email to confirm that booking. Now you can be copied in on that email. So every time a booking is made and an email is sent out, you will receive that same email. Image size are the employee pictures, not too big, just pretty small really. Just sort of thumbnail size, and try and keep them as square as possible because they will fit in there better. Someone makes a booking, can we receive an alert? Yeah, well, that would be the email, sorry, that was just speaking about as well. Can you rewatch the video? If we're busy at 4, well, you'll get a copy of this one. And if you're busy at 4 and you can't make the live, that will be recorded as well. So maybe this would be some other questions, but probably what I'll do anyway is if you are part of the Shorties Facebook group, if you're not, join because you can all have a chat in there and ask different questions and find out information. I'll go through the questions as well and answers, and I'll just post some information in there as well. So you can have a read through those rather than watching the video if you don't wish to. The coding language. Oh, you're going above my head now. So is it Java, HTML? I don't know that technical answer to that one, and it's certainly not a stupid question. No questions are ever stupid. So no, I don't know the answer to that one. But if you do really want to know, I can find out for you. Where can you enter the email to be copied in? There is a video online for that one, but let me just quickly, just bear with me, just while I've got you, just because I'm feeling good. Let's have a little look. I do get, even after all this time, mixed up with which one's which. Yeah, and it's always the last one I go to, isn't it? Do you ever find that? You've got a choice of 3 and it's the last one. Here we go. Booking email. Enter the email address where you would like to receive manual online booking requests. That will also come through to you for to be copied in. So that's there. So it just wasn't just a slightly different name on the other platform. Yep. So I have someone here asking about which services and deposits. It's pretty customizable actually. So let's just say you have some low costing. I'll use a hair salon. I'll just pull off my experience. So we have blow dries and maybe men's haircuts, kids cuts, things like that. That's at the lower priced items on the menu. You might say, look, those things are booked last minute. Always book last minute. I'm not going to ask for a deposit for those, so you don't have to. Then you might have your mid-range, which are your haircuts, and you could say, well, you can either have a deposit of a fixed amount or percentages. That's fine. And then you can have another set of services with a different rule. So you can have lots of rules. An expiration date on the old platform, it's just that it's not going to be supported. So when we sort of, as with any company really, that when we update the any platform or any part of the software, then the older one can still be used, but we're not really going to be supporting it. So the new one is much better and it integrates much better. Can we see no new pending online bookings on the screen? Not sure what you're asking there, sorry. But if you're new to the online booking, what I suggest is maybe calling support and asking to have a chat with someone in education if you can, or maybe having a look at the videos online, because those resources are, like I said, are very extensive, so they will be able to answer a lot of your questions. Yeah, so the two restrictions with deposits or upfront payments, as we call them, is you can't choose which day of the week. So you can't say, I only want to take the deposits for a Saturday. That doesn't work. If it's on, it's on. And you also can't, we don't distinguish between clients. So if it's a new client, I'm afraid not. So new and existing will need to, so it is a deposit on that service with that stylist or the therapist, no matter who's sort of booking it in. Cool. So hopefully you've learned a bit today. And it has been very popular. We may do this webinar again in a couple of weeks because it has been very popular today. But otherwise, like I said, you will get a copy of this as well. And please don't forget about all the resources we have online if you're not sure where they are or that we even had them. Like I said before, that they are under the support, and we have a learning center and we have online classrooms, which are a little bit more in depth, a little bit more like this today, but without the Q&A. They're just a recorded class that go into a feature from beginning to end. So those classrooms are very good. So thank you so much for joining me today. And we do hope that you enjoy the new booking platform. And if you need any help, like I said, head to the website or call our support team on 1300 667 374. Thank you and have a great day.